All right. Pearlo wisdom here. Hey, CL, how you doing? When I can, I said I was going to start doing this. Guess what? I don't know, I still got recovering from it. I caught a flu that was just absolutely insane. I didn't even really get sick, but it just kept on holding on to me, holding on to me, holding on to me. And hey, how you doing, man of the world? So what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to start doing now for a half an hour to an hour every day, and I might be doing this at night too, so watch out for it. In fact, most of the time, I think I'm going to start doing this at night. Is I'm going to go over the games, and I'm going to look at, this is going to be like a betting thing now. I'm going to go over the games, and you guys are going to get fortunate enough to get some really good paid information. There's a lot of people that pay for this information, but if you happen to come to these live streams, you're going to be able to see basically what I'm picking for every game. It's my early leans, though. You have to remember, I could change my mind on this. We don't know the goaltenders, but you might get some really good information. I'm up 115 units this year in hockey, NHL hockey. I don't think there's anybody out there that's up that high. Now, my unit sizes are high. I'm like, I will say that if you want to come over to BPOW, I have other options that you can take, like smaller bets, and I give you like 2 or 3. But honestly, I don't do as well as those on those as I do high volume. But if you got some stacks and you like to have action, and you like to have fun, I highly recommend you come over to BPOW. It's a blast, and you make a lot of money. But okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring up the games for tonight, and we are going to go over each game. I'm doing it basically. You know what? I did my best picks when I used to do this live show, and I used to talk over all the games all the time, like I'm doing right now. It seems that I have my gabbing speaks into my mind. Okay, you don't know what I'm talking about? NHL hockey news reports. I'm going to be going over what the money lines and the overs and unders of every game that are on tonight, that are going to be on tonight. How long will you be on for? Oh, you're asking me how long I'll be on for. I'm not sure. It's when I feel like at a clock, right? So I'm going to go over all the games. We're going to look at the over and unders. And I'm doing this mostly because it really does help me pick my picks that I pick. I find that I'm much better. I've tried sitting there talking out loud to nobody on each pick and stuff like that. I've tried some things, and it doesn't really work for me. I find it works best if I do it this way. So let's take a look. We're going to take a look at each game. If you know anybody, tell them to come in right now, because I'm not going to be going back over probably very much. So if I've already done a game and you want to go and you go, well, what about this game? Well, you should have been here. Sorry about that. Should have been here. By the way, man of the world, NHL hockey news reports. Great to see you again. Let's not get too sentimental here. Big high five. All right. Okay, let's go over to... Oh, that's not it. First of all, I got to get on the frickin' page. That I got to do. We'll go to Odd Shark. And I'll be looking at other stuff too. I'm going to be looking at expected goals against and all that kind of stuff like that. So there we go. All right, first we're going to go to the Philadelphia Flyers. Oh, you should come over, CL. You'll make money with me, guaranteed. I guess I gotta be right. Okay, I'm gonna get you guys up here. I forgot. I have to be right on the specific page, or it doesn't work out. So let me get you up on my trusty phone here. Here we go. So I can see what you guys are saying. And while I'm doing this, you can put in your own stuff, what you think, and all that kind of stuff like that. So we got the Philadelphia Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres. Philadelphia Flyers played last night against Toronto. and got their ass whooped. Okay? You know, because of that, I'm not sure this is going to be as easy a game as people think for Buffalo. But because any team that gets their ass kicked the night before, they're going to be coming in hard here. At least in the first period, for sure, I would say. Especially with the guy like Tortorella there. They didn't have any jump in the last two periods at all in Buffalo. In Philadelphia against Toronto. It almost seemed like they gave up. And so now they go up against this young Buffalo team, whippersnappers, young whippersnappers that have dreams of making the playoffs in their head still. It takes a while for everything to move here. Come on. What's going on? Wow, that long? Really? Really, computer? Really? That's what we're going to do today? That's what we're going to do today. Okay, Buffalo Sabres are how many points out of a playoff spot here? They're 4 points out of a playoff spot. They're and 2 games in hand, and they're watching the Pittsburgh Penguins pretty much struggle. Like they beat Arizona, but they haven't beat too many other teams. My sell team going into this has been the New York Islanders. In the second half, my sell team was the New York Islanders. I still think they're old. I still think their replacement players are a little bit iffy. And I think they're going to fade down the second half. I really do. I think even they knew that. They came out flying. Of course, last year they had an extremely difficult time in the first 13 games because they were on the road forever. It was fresh in their mind to have a good start, and they gave her. They did. They gave her. They played hard. They played hard the first half here. The question is, that's a team that has to, play their asses off to win. Can they keep it going for 82? With a lot of their players like Bailey and all of that being able to do that. I say no, but we'll see. That's why Buffalo is my buy team right now. I think they can sniff the playoffs quite a bit. They're getting pretty hard right now. I think they can believe in themselves. If they look ahead in the lineup in the division and conference, and say, you know what, we can take out Pittsburgh. We can take out Pittsburgh. We can take out the Islanders. We can get over these guys. They're young. They have young legs. They're playing like a bat out of hell. Their defensively, they still got a lot of work to do. And even if they do make the playoffs, I don't think they're going to do much. But I had them making the playoffs in the beginning of the year, so I'm going to keep on going with it. I love their coach, and they're getting even better goaltending than I anticipated. So going against this Philly team, they got their ass kicked last night. I like to look at this. We look at the weekly schedule. We're going to look at what they played. This is Monday, so the 9th. Buffalo played Minnesota on the 7th. They had 2 games last week. They've had a day off, and now they're playing against the Philadelphia Flyers with a backup goaltender who did have a good outing in his last outing, I got to say. I think it was against the San Jose Sharks, though. But, I mean, he didn't even really put up good minors numbers. And they play against Toronto now. They're playing on a back-to-back. Now, that back-to-back isn't terrible because they had quite a bit of time off at home before the back-to-back. So they actually could have, some pretty good energy tonight. Not to mention the fact that they kind of packed it in the second and third period. So with all that being said, let's look at another little thing I like to look at here. It's just called EVA Analytics. And what I like to look at, what this gives you is a really good first period total analysis. Like it gives you it tells you each team's record in the first period, whether total or money line or what have you. So the Buffalo Sabres at home, first period, are 6-11 and 2 to the over at first period. That really surprises me, actually. I'm surprised I didn't even know that. Have I been not checking? And then Philadelphia to the over is 11-9 and 1 to the over. Elliot, how you doing, buddy? I was kind of leaning first period over on that game. But those are not stellar numbers. I'm going to take a lucky stab here. Elliot, you tell me, do you have a bookie that you can take second period overs? I love them. I've made so much money on second period overs this year for my clients. It's been insane. Yeah, 28-9, and at home they are 15-4 to the over in the second period. And Philadelphia will probably come out barreling in the first, I think. This is a weird one where I'd almost take a sniff at Philadelphia first period. Almost. First period money line. Because I just think after getting shellacked by Toronto and basically having no energy, they're going to come out barreling. Now, I wouldn't put much on it because there's a very good chance that Buffalo, if they do score, would come back and win. Maybe both teams to score. Both teams to score seems like a pretty good one, first period. I think you could probably pick that up at plus money. But second period away for Philadelphia. See, now Philadelphia, it plays to the under a lot in the second period. That is weird. This is it's a very weird combination. So it's not really a second period over I like. I nail them a lot, but I usually nail them with both teams playing high second period over totals. But as I said, I really can't find a way here, I don't think, that I can take anything but Buffalo in regulation. Samuel Urson is the fellow who actually has some pretty decent numbers so far, which is weird because his AHL numbers have been ass. And I do think Philadelphia is going to come out hard. I just think this Buffalo team is just full of piss and vinegar right now. Like, I think they believe in themselves. I love their coach. I think on the second half here, like I said, Sabres have been my buy team, is a buy team for me for the second half. I think they can sniff Pittsburgh out. I don't think the Islanders are really a team that they think, oh my gosh, how are we going to catch the Islanders? And, they've been getting some good goaltending. Craig Anderson, I love it. And here's something, if you want to just talk about pure hockey stuff. You've got three goaltenders there with Comrie, Anderson, and Luukkonen right now. And people are wondering, are they going to trade one of them? I don't think so. I think Craig Anderson is very happy to play once a week. And when they use Craig Anderson in a limited capacity, they basically get like a 5-year younger Craig Anderson. If you don't overuse the guy, he seems to do fantastic. And they haven't used Craig Anderson for quite some time yet. They've been using Luukkonen primarily. So now he comes in against a Philadelphia team that's kind of reeling from their last loss and against Toronto the night before. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be easy. I think Philadelphia is going to play them hard. But I think the Sabres in regulation is a decent play. I think you're getting a decent number on Buffalo in regulation here to make a play at home. So what do you guys think, Elliot? By the way, Elliot here. I go on some other boards and I use The ice guys are really good. I use them as confirmations for my picks sometimes. Like I'll probably watch it after I'm done here, and I'll use them as confirmations as my picks. For a while, I had to break away from it because I found that I was changing my picks and it wasn't working out very well. I try now to make sure that I stick to my picks before I get started and go from there. I may drop a pick, but I don't change it to another pick. I may drop one sometimes where I don't even just play it at all because they'll say something that I never thought about that. So now, as far as the total here, I mean, Buffalo is an over team, no doubt about that. Team total over. I don't think you're probably not going to get. It's going to be way too juiced up. I'm thinking way too juiced up. I imagine it's probably going to be like minus 160 or something like that for the team total over for Buffalo. I mean, I'd almost rather go team total over for Philadelphia. And if I'm going to do that, then you pretty much want to go full game over. Full game over. And that might be a player that I put a little bit on full game over. But when the thing is, when Philadelphia is playing at their best, they don't allow a lot of goals. That's kind of what the plan is for them. It doesn't mean they're successful at it, but it's kind of the plan. But going against this Buffalo team, they're stacked all the way through their lineup. They got so many guys that are playing hot right now. They can try. That was the other reason. Like I took Toronto in regulation yesterday, and a lot of people, I think they went through that play down to their competition thing. But the thing is, Philadelphia started playing a man-on-man defense rather than a trap system. And I mean, you're not going to beat Toronto like that with that lineup. There's no freaking way. You want to play man-on-man against the Toronto Maple Leafs with a lineup that is, not the fastest in the world, you're not winning that game. There's no freaking way you're winning that game. Not a chance. Not a chance. In fact, I wish I would have put more than I did on that game. Like, I live bet it in during the game. As soon as I think it was as soon as Toronto scored. Did Philadelphia score first? I can't remember, but I went minus 2.5 on Toronto, and I made more that way, which is fine. But I wish I would have put more on it because once I heard that Philadelphia was going to a man-on-man, I was like, yeah, they're not beating Toronto. I don't care. Even if Toronto does play down to their competition, they're still not beating Toronto. So, what do we have for Buffalo team total over? 165. Which is, I go in Canadian odds at, which is like, what, minus 160, minus 150, somewhere around there. It's almost worth it. The way Buffalo's been potting them right now, I think I'll put a little bit on that team total over. And also look at some shot props. Like, I think, because I think Buffalo should take lots of shots. If Philadelphia comes flying out, they may get the shot edge to begin with, and then Buffalo will wake up and go, okay, wait, we can't lose to Philadelphia here for the love of God. We have everything right now to play for. There's no way Buffalo is overlooking this game in any way. I don't believe that Buffalo can overlook any game moving up here. So, well, thank you, Daryl. That's high praise, my friend. Those ice guys are absolutely fantastic. I love them. Thank you very much. Okay, what was I saying? Shop prop. So we'll go to shop props here. Buffalo Sabres. I'm not going to go with the shot prop app. I'm just going to look at some of the guys that are going to be playing in this lineup and say, you're probably getting probably Dylan Cousins. If you can get him at 2.5 at a decent price, I would do a shot prop on that. And Rasmus Dahlin. If you can still get Rasmus Dahlin at 2.5, even if it's like minus 160, I don't care. When he plays teams like Philadelphia, the guy is up in the zone constantly all the time. Like Buffalo's not afraid. When Buffalo's not afraid of the offense of the opposition, their D moves up a lot, especially guys like Rasmus Dahlin. And they shouldn't be afraid of Philadelphia's offense, which is why I kind of lean to the over. The only reason why I haven't put it in is Philadelphia going to score enough? I think they should, because Buffalo's defense is still young, and it's going to be amazing, but it's in fact their whole team is so young, they're still adjusting to the way you got to play in your own end. They're basically an offensive team. So, but if you can still get Dahlin at 2.5, even at minus 160, buy it. I mean, I think at home, if I remember off the top of my head, the last 13 or 14, there's only been one time he hasn't had more than 2.5 shots. So I would probably do that. You might as well, if you want to get Tage Thompson to score 2, how hot he is, what the hell? Throw it on there for pizza money. I mean, the guy's crazy right now. That guy gets in front of the net, and it's like nobody. Have you ever noticed at Buffalo? He gets in front of the net. Okay, he's one of the few guys I've seen that is able to do this. He gets in front of the net, gets the puck, and he always seems to have time to just go to his backhand, go to his forehand, do a little dipsy-do, whatever he wants. How the hell does he do that? How the hell does he consistently find the front of the net and nobody's watching Tage Thompson? This is a guy who might score 60 goals in a year, and everybody's like, oh, Tage, oh, so you were there. Imagine that. I don't get it, but it's happening and he's doing it. So, yeah, that's just some of the things I would do. Dylan Cousins seems to shoot a lot from that center position with Peterka and Quinn on his wing. Tippett getting 1 point. Is he potting them right now? I haven't even really been paying attention to Philadelphia. Let me take a look here. Oh, he's got 21 points in 35 games. To get 1 point at plus 120, it's not a bad play. Philadelphia, has an opportunity to get some points here against this Buffalo team, so it's not a bad play. It's just got garbage line mates, though. Wow, this team sucks. I wish there was a prop that had. I wish there was a prop you could buy on Anthony DeAngelo to cough up the puck for a goal. I would be. The only thing is the juice would be so heavy you probably wouldn't be able to play it. But does anybody cough up the puck more than Anthony DeAngelo right now? Holy shit, dude. Seriously. I mean, freaking Tyson Barrie blushes at the amount of times that he goes at. Tyson Barrie feels good. I'm not like DeAngelo or something. I would go over 2 on DeAngelo to cough up the puck for a goal. Over 1.5. Let's give him a little bit of credit. Over 1.5 on DeAngelo to cough up puck for a goal. All right, let's go to the next one, shall we? All right. What do we got next? Because that was I put Buffalo in last night. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is I thought the line would drop on Buffalo. I don't know what I'm missing here with Buffalo winning this game. But I think at 150 even on the money line, I don't like giving up juice like that. But throw it in a parlay or whatever. How can they lose that game? One thing we didn't see is what's the matchup? Does Philly own them or something? No, they're 5. Okay, no, not really. It's 7-3 to the over. So yeah, I think I'm going to put an over on that. I just don't like playing overs with Philly because they're like the lowest in the league in expected goals for. So, but against a Buffalo defense that isn't all that great, they probably pot 1 or 2, especially in the first period. First period, both teams to score. You throw a little bit on that. I just have a feeling Philadelphia is going to come out. They might even score the first goal. And then Buffalo comes back. I think you can get that at about 140, probably, I would think. You guys can do that work. I'm not doing all the work for you here. Sitting in here on my morning coffee, babbling all this stuff up. I'm not going to all the sites and telling you how much they cost and all that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing all that. Sorry. Leave that to the ice guys. They're the hard workers of this group. They like to work hard. I'm not a hard worker, dude. Not a hard worker. I'm not a professional handicapper because I like to grind out my day. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Seattle versus Montreal. I don't know how you don't take Seattle here. I wanted to look at one thing, though, because there's one thing, and it screwed me up. I think I missed it yesterday. I think I missed it myself. I think I missed it. Let's look at their last couple of games here. Montreal's last 10 games. Montreal. No, okay, here's the problem I have with this game. This is the problem I have with this game. I might end up having to fade this game. I'm almost leaning Montreal here. I know you're thinking I'm nuts. I know you're all thinking I'm freaking crazy. Right now, you're going, how the hell can you play Montreal, Steve? How the hell did you play Montreal? I'll tell you why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in a row. And they break it with St. Louis last night. I don't know what it is, but when a team goes through a long losing streak and they win one, the percentage of them winning, hi Zarbian, how you doing? The percentage of them winning the next one is really good. What is it? I don't know. It's really good though. It's really good. Happens all the time. But it's hard to think that Montreal is going to do it. I mean, this defense is absolutely diabolically bad. Let's look at how here. One thing we can look at. Montreal's defense isn't bad when it's rested. Okay, they beat St. Louis. Wait a second, what's going on here? They're not on a back-to-back, right? They beat St. Louis, they had a day off. Now it's Monday. It's the third game of a home trip. Seattle has slaughtered everybody in their wake up until the fourth game of an Eastern road trip. No, sorry. They went to Edmonton, all the way to Toronto, scooted over to Ottawa. Now they're scooting over to Montreal. Montreal is playing on a high right now. Everly over 2.5 shots. That sounds like a pretty decent bet. I don't know. I just there's so many problems with saying Montreal's going to win here, though. I have to say. Molten Bull's in bet. Molten Bull has been absolute ass his last 4. Okay. Last I heard that Molten Bull is going to be Molten Bull Yeah, I haven't did that in a long time. Molten Bow. Last I heard, Molten Bow was going to be in net. And, oh, wait. Is it? How come I heard it was? Am I missing something here? Yeah, Montem Bow is going to be in net. Martin Jones is going to be in net. Okay. I guess you go over. I guess that's the play here. I don't think I can go Seattle. It's a fourth game of an Eastern road trip. They're far away from home. I know they've been knocking everybody off in their wake. But Montreal is going to be come in with confidence in this game after beating St. Louis, for sure, no doubt about it. Now, if I think Montreal can win this game at all, do I think Montreal is ever going to win this game like 3-1 or something like that? 3-2 with Montem Bowl in net and Martin Jones in net? Nay, nay, nay. So I think you got to go the over. There's not much trend to look at here. Possibly. Did we do the Senators game already? Oh, wait, I forgot to do the Senators game. I'll go back to the Senators game right away. Stay in there. I don't know why I forgot it, but I wonder what it pays for the team total over for Montreal here. But the thing is, before last night's game against St. Louis, they couldn't freaking score to save their lives. Are they going to go back to not being able to score now? Or are they going to come in feeling like, hey, you know what? We're not as bad as we thought. And now we got the Seattle team coming in. I don't even think they care about that. But I think they should be able to be fairly confident, at least, that they can put up a fight here, because they haven't looked like they've had confidence in quite some time. Here's a good one. There's another over first period, but I imagine it's pretty juiced up. Oh, yeah. Periods. Over 1.5 first period is not a bad play here. Minus 140. Because you got to figure if Montreal's feeling confident after their game against St. Louis, they're going to come out barreling and, with confidence and playing and probably get the pace going. I would think they're going to get the pace going in this game right away and challenge Seattle, who's on, their fourth game of an Eastern road trip, to keep up. And apparently, they've got a lot more of a road trip to go, though. So, what's the over for these guys' first period? Let's take a look. At home. And 9-9 to the over. At home. Away. Seattle is 10-8. Not my favorite numbers to go on there. What about the money line? I think Montreal first period money line. Oh, they're terrible. They're terrible at home on the money line first period. They're 3-8-4. Seattle are, geez, you almost want to go Seattle money line on that. Oh boy. So we'll scrap that. I think okay, I was gonna look at team total over. Let's go back to that again. Montreal over 2.5 is minus 110. I like that. I think that's my play. Canadiens team total over 2.5. I think that's my play on that. You got Jones in net. I mean, he's had his occasional good games, but I still say he's ass. I don't buy Jones. I don't buy it. I think Montreal could, after a long losing streak, could even win this game. I really do. And if they do, if let's put it this way, if you even think for a second that Montreal can win this game, and I do, is there any way that Montreal is going to win this game and not score over 2.5 goals? And even if they put up a good fight, they're still going to score over 2.5 goals. They may if they could lose the game and not score over 2.5 because they have trouble scoring quite a bit. But I don't think they win the game and not score over 2.5. And they could lose the game and score over 2.5 against Jones. So I think that's my play, and I might put a little bit on the over. And I'm still going to stew on the idea of, I mean, what's the money line on Montreal? I might just throw like some, I mean, you're getting 155, 160. I might throw a little bit on Montreal. Okay. Next game, Nashville, Ottawa. And, okay. What's Ottawa getting? See, if it wasn't for the last two games, Nashville's probably gone like 220, 225 right now. Right? They won their last two. They're on kind of a heater, I guess. And I picked Nashville to be a bye team in the second half. I had them to beat Washington. I took them to beat Washington. They got outplayed and they won. I stayed away from the Carolina-Nashville game because I thought there was a good chance they could beat Carolina in that spot, and they did. However, even if I did pick it, I couldn't have been too proud of it because their goaltender had to stop like the second most shots that a goaltender has stopped in league history or something like that. So it was like he stopped 64 of 67 shots for them to win that game. And he's going to be in net tonight, that being Juicy Saros, I imagine, against the Ottawa Senators, who just got their ass kicked big time. Here's the thing about Ottawa, okay? I've watched quite a bit of Ottawa games this year. I personally think, and you know what? The goaltending stats don't really play this out, actually. But it appears to me that the only real problem is goaltending. Their expected goals for and expected goals against, which unless they've changed. Where's my app for that? Right here. I don't know if you guys are in Natural Stat Trick, but I highly recommend it. Expected goals for, expected goals against. I use it a lot for capping. If a team is playing over their expected goals for, I expect regression, and vice versa the other way. So expected goals for, oh, has it dropped a lot? They used to be right up there, Ottawa, in expected goals for. They've dropped a bit. They're about middle of the pack for expected goals for. their expected goals for and their actual goals for. Oh, they're actually now, holy smokes, they've gone the opposite direction. They're scoring at 7 goals over their expected goals for. So you could see some regression there. That is a surprise because it was like the opposite not long ago. And their expected goals against is about middle of the pack as well. And their actual goals against, so their expected goals against. And they're allowing, 3 more goals above expected. That was totally different at one time. So what's happened here is their goaltending has actually gotten better. Their defense hasn't really improved. In fact, I would say it's regressed. And their shooting percentage is getting higher. So their actual expected goals has dropped. Now Nashville, expected goals for Nashville. Oh my gosh. Expected goals for 82. Yeah, here's one for you. And this is the reason why I said Nashville, I think, is going to be better in the second half. One of the big reasons. Their expected goals for is 82. Their actual goals for is 69. So they've been having bad luck. And their expected goals against is 83.9. And their actual goals against is 67. So they've been getting amazing goaltending and having bad luck on forward and not scoring for their goaltenders. That's really been the problem. Now, you have to ask yourself, is the expected goals against going to even out as far as goaltending is concerned? They can get better defensively. Saros has shown that he will continue to be one of the best, if not, one of the best in the league as a goaltender. As far as the expected goals for, that will probably even out. I mean, you would have to think they're going to start scoring more. The question is, does that start happening tonight against Ottawa after a really tough loss? And I was going to look at that now. After a really tough loss. Against Seattle, right. Where Seattle had a really high shooting percentage in that game. And I believe, wasn't Forsberg in that? He puts in groaners all the time. It should be Talbot tonight. I lean Ottawa here. Nashville has won 3 in a row now. They won 6-3 against Montreal, which really is no feat. That was the first game of the road trip, I believe. But they have won, 4 of their last 5, too. They beat Anaheim to start it off. Then they went in and lost to Vegas in a close one. They beat Montreal. They beat Carolina, but they got their ass kicked and beat Carolina. Like, they had no business really winning that game. I don't know why Carolina played Ranta in that game, by the way. I'm not a Ranta fan, all right? Not a Ranta fan. But they did. And then they went out and beat Washington, and they really got outplayed in that game too. So are they going to keep on doing that? All right, so let's say Saros comes out and he's on a heater right now. Let's say Saros is on a heater right now. Talbot's playing really well. I don't know about the size. I don't know about the total here. I don't know. It could be an under. It could be an under. Ottawa comes out hard, have a hard time scoring, but pop one early. Washington's feeling it right now. Like basically, they're feeling it. Like what they shoot has is going in. They got a high shooting percentage, which I just showed you should be catching up to itself because they've had a very low team shooting percentage up until now. I think it could be a hard fought game. I'm going to say the tired team wears out in the third, and this is like a 3-2, 4-2 game for Ottawa. I'm going to take Ottawa here. Nashville has been on the road for 4 straight. It's so weird when you're going on these long. It's weird because if, let's say, a team's on a 4-game road trip, they play Carolina and Washington back to back. They had 2 days off, and now they play Ottawa. So I don't know if they'll be terribly tired. Oh, no. Am I missing something here? Because I thought it was 4 games they were on the road. Oh, they beat Montreal at home, not on the road. They beat Montreal home, and they beat Carolina in an ass whipping that they shouldn't have won. They got outplayed by the Capitals as well. They were my bye team going into this. Am I talking myself into Nashville here? And what do they got after this? Yeah, they got, and then they still got, oh, wait, they play Toronto after this, and then they play Montreal again. Yeah, this could be a flat spot for Nashville. This could be one of those like, oh, we won 2 games. Let's go out and do the best we can. But if we lose, we still got Toronto and Montreal to go. So I don't know if I want to get into. I don't know if they want to get into a war with Ottawa. And Ottawa is a team that likes to get in a war with you. So I'm going to take Ottawa. The question is Ottawa going to play a shutdown game against Nashville, which, with their defense, it's hit or miss whether they can do that or not? Or are they going to try to go toe-to-toe with them back and forth? Because, Nashville is not really the most offensive team in the world. I think I'm just going to take Ottawa here. That's what I'm going to do. The total, I'm up in the air. You can make a good case for the under. I think you can make a better case for the under than you can the over. Because, if Ottawa just let 8 in, so TJ Smith is going to be going over video over again about how not to do this and how not to do that, and pounding in the head about playing defensively and what to do in these situations in the neutral zone and all those sort of things like that. Nashville has been potting a couple, as of late, but they really, they beat the Capitals 3-2. Their overall, their offense still hasn't been up. So, and Saros has been really good. So if Ottawa does win this game, they got to get some past Saros, who has been playing fantastic. It could go so far as to say that Saros could do to them what he did to Carolina. If he's in that kind of a swing, if he's that hot right now. So I would go under and Ottawa. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm going to be posting this up to my page, and you guys are up to my YouTube, and you guys can watch all of it and my picks and how I came to all my picks and all of that kind of stuff like that. But thanks for chiming in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this every day. I will be. I'll probably be trying to do this in the evening more, and when I do it that way, I'll be doing it for the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be doing really, really, really early leans on the games for the next day. But that's my full 42. I got to put out some TikToks now and stuff like that. I'm going to have to get to work right away. So have a great day, everybody. Okay, bye. Didn't know how I was going to say goodbye there.